Hi everybody. Today I'm going to teach you how to write script letters, the alphabet letters in Hebrew. As you can see, this is a good example of printed letter and script letter, one next to each other. The red letters that you're seeing right now, those are printed letters, and the blue ones are scripted letters. That's what we're going to work on today. The printed letters is more of I wouldn't say official, but they show up in books and newspapers, etc. And the scripted letters are more like if you handwrite stuff. Just like, in English you have caps lock, you have capital letters, and then you have like lowercase letters. You're not going to write everything in caps lock, so you're going to write it in lowercase. So same thing here. Most people, when they write in script, which is the blue letters that we're going to work on right now. So let's get started. So in Hebrew there are 22 letters. I'm going to go through one by one, and then I'm going to teach you how to write them. So these are the 22 letters. Whatever is coded yellow, that means it has a twin sister letter, and I'll explain when we get to the letter. And whatever is coded pink, such as this and here as well, that means that when we write them down, if they come at the end of a word, so they have a different format of how we write the letter. Instead of writing it like this, there's a way to write it differently, like that. That's if it's in the end of the letter. Okay, so let's begin from the beginning. First letter is Aleph. So let's learn how to write Aleph. So our first letter is letter Aleph. You make a line and then half a circle attached to that line. Aleph. The way it's pronounced is A. Let's have examples. How to write it. You make a line and then half a circle next to it. You make a line, half a circle next to it. Again, you make a line down, half a circle next to it. Let's write it faster. Aleph. Let's move on to the next letter. Next letter is Bet. Like, I bet it's gonna rain today. Bet. Okay, so this is a letter that has two ways of writing it down. So we have a bet and we have a vet. Bet is with a dot, vet is without a dot. Bet sounds like B, banana. Vet sounds like V, Victor. Let's practice writing bet. So you make half a circle, you go in and you go out. Again, you make half a circle, you go in and you go out. Half a circle, in and out. One smooth stroke. Bet, we'll leave it without one, so it's vet. Bet, vet. Bet, vet. Bet, vet. Okay, moving on to the next letter. This letter is called Gimel. Gimel. The way it's pronounced is ga. Like I'm going somewhere. Ga. Not ja, but ga. So the way we write it is you make a small line and then half a circle. You leave it open, the circle. Half a line and then it goes around to half a circle. Small line and then half around of the circle. In one stroke, Gimel. Next letter we have is Dalid. Dalid. Like D in English, like David. The way we write Dalid is you make half a circle and then you make like a small loop and then you go down, straight down. Not curved down, straight down. Again, half a circle, small loop, and then down. In one stroke, Dalid. Next letter is Hey. Hey. It's called Hey. The way it's pronounced is H, like H in English, but make sure to take out air when you say H, like the word in English hunter. When you say the word hunter, there's air coming out of your mouth when you say hunter, not like hat, like hunter. So there's a word in Hebrew, let's say in a word that is a mountain, that means mountain, it's called har. So you don't say ar, you say har. Take air out, har. Okay, so how do we write the letter Hey? So you make like half a circle and then a line going down. There's a gap here. Again, half a circle and then down. Half a circle and then small one next to it. Hey. Next letter we have is Vav. Very simple, just a line going down like number 1 or like I without the dot. Vav. The sound of this letter is like a V. Very similar to Bet without the dot, which is also V. So the way we write it is plain and simple, just a line going down. Pretty easy. Vav. The next letter is Zain. This is very similar to Gimel, just the other way around. Zain. The sound that this letter makes is a Z. Zain. Make note that the Gimel looks like this. Zain looks like this. So they're opposite each other, so it's a bit confusing. Okay, so Zain. You make a small diagonal line and then half a circle. It's not a straight line, it's a bit diagonal. Half a circle. Okay, next letter. Next letter is Chet. Chet. Okay, so this letter, the way you make this sound is a bit harsh, but it comes from deep down your throat. It's like it's not the most flattering example, but you know when you want to clear your throat, so you do this kind of sound. It's very throaty. It comes out. It's between an H and I don't know other letters in English that make this sounds, but it's cha. Chet. So CH. Let's say in Russian they have хорошо, so it's the same cha. Also in Arabic they have this letter of cha, but I think theirs is more throaty and this is more light. Okay, so the way we write the letter chet is you make like half a circle and then you make a line going down. Again, half a circle, a line going down. Half a circle, a line going down. Next letter we have is tet, tet. And the sound that this letter makes is T. Tet. Now, when you officially learn how to write this in school, you're supposed to go from the bottom and then up. For me, it's easier to go from the top going down. So basically, it's up to you the way you write it, the way it's easier for you. Nobody's going to criticize you to do this or another. The way it just needs to look like this, but it doesn't matter if you go this way or other way. But officially, you're supposed to start from the bottom going up. But for me, I found it easier to go from the top going to the bottom. It's very similar to the number 6, just it doesn't go all the way around. It just doesn't close for a 6. So it's just a close 6, I would say. All right, next letter is Yud. Yud. This is very similar to Vav, but please make sure that you see it with perspective. So let's say if this is the line of the notebook, this is Yud. Yud is half of the line of Vav. It's like halfway. So it's a small letter. The sound that this letter makes is like Y, but we have a thing called nikud. Nikud is where you place dots under a letter. Let's say this is a letter. So if you put dots, putting them specifically where you put them, it makes the vowel sounds of the letter. So let's say if you put here a letter, this is going to sound like E, this is going to sound like E, this is going to sound like A. So Yud is a vowel that if you put different nikud, different points into them, it could be also like I or E. But originally it's supposed to sound like Ya, like Y. Alright, so the way we write Yud is just a small line. Okay, moving forward. Next letter is Kaf. Kaf. This letter also has a twin sister, so to call. Kaf. Without the dot, it's Chaf. Like the letter Chet before, it's the same sound. So Kaf is like a K, and Chaf is like Cha, like the Chet that we did before. So the way we write it is you make half a circle and keep it straight. It almost wants to close for a circle, but then instead of going round, it goes straight. Okay, next letter is Lamed. Lamed. Lamed makes the sound of L. La. Okay, so same thing as like I told you before with the Tet letter. You're taught at school to start from the bottom up. For me, it's easier to go from the top to the bottom, but each to their own, whatever is easier for you. So let's do it slowly. The way you make it is you make a small circle at the bottom, bring the line up, bring the line up, and then you make a small curve going down. Again, make a small circle, go up. It's very similar to like a music note. So yeah, you make a circle, you go up, and then you go to the side. So for me, it's easier to do that. But again, each to their own, whatever is easier for you. So let me show you in just one stroke. As you can see, some of them are straight, some of them are a bit more curved. It's all okay, because people are going to understand this is a lamed. It doesn't matter if it's too curved, more straight, it's all good. This all passes a lamed. Next letter is mem. Mem. This actually looks like a American N, but it's in Hebrew it's a mem. It makes the sound of M. So the way you write it, you go down and then you go down. It's very funny because I remember when I wrote N in English, it was very hard because I had to start from the bottom up. In Hebrew, because you start from right to left, so you have to start from here, going down, and you finish here. As opposed to English, where you start here, you end here, like that. So yeah, mem. Mem. Okay, next letter. Next letter is nun. Nun. Nun, that makes the sound of N. So the way you write nun is, it's a little bit similar to J in English, but more spacious. Let's say J is like this, so it's close. So nun is like that. It's more, this area is more stretched out. Nun. Nun. A line and to the side. A line and swerve to the side. Nun. Okay guys, sorry I ran out of paper on my notebook, so I took plain paper. Okay, so the next letter is Samech. Very plain and simple, just a circle. Samech. The sound that this makes is S. Like snake, like what else is with S? I'm blanking it out. I'm blanking out right now. Like a star, basically. Okay, so it's like a O, just a circle. Okay, next letter is Ein. It's like an upside down fish. Ein. So Ein sounds like A or E. So think back in the day, the Ein was a lot more throaty. It used to be like Ein, Ein. Nowadays, nobody says that. Everybody says like Ein, not Ein. It's not like throaty anymore. So the way we make this upside down fish is you make a line going down, and then you start to curve it, make this half a loop, and then you take it out. Quicker. Ein. Okay, the next letter we have is Pei. Pei also has a twin sister, which is Fei. So Pei and Fei. Pei is like a P, English P, and then Fei is like an F. So the way we write it is, we make like almost a circle. Before we end the circle, we make a swirl like inside. Like that. It's like a spiral going in. Pei. Pei, Fei. Pei, Fei. Pei, Fei. Okay, next letter is Sadiq. Okay, so Sadiq also means righteous in Hebrew. Sadiq is the combination of T and Z. So English doesn't have this letter, but think of the word pizza. You know how it's spelled with two Z's? So we don't pronounce pizza, we say pizza. So the tsa is like TZ together, tsa. So the way we do it is very close to a 3. Like that. By the way, it's very similar to the letter Daled. But note that the dalet doesn't swerve back around. Sadiq does. So Sadiq goes around, dalet stops. It goes down and stops. It doesn't swerve around. So Sadiq. Next letter is kuf. Kuf. Kuf makes the sound of K, like the letter kaf with a dot, also K. Okay, so the way we write kuf is make half a circle, then a line going down. Half a circle, a line going down. Now this line is exceeding the lines in the notebook. So say this would be a notebook. You write kuf. See, the line goes beyond the line of the notebook. Kuf. Next letter is reish. Reish. Reish is the equivalent of R, but it's pronounced way different than R in English. It's more r. I think it's, I don't know if it's tongue or throat, I can't even know. But it resembles more like a French way of saying R, like resistance. So it's a r. Good luck getting R. It's not easy. A lot of people struggle with this R. So don't be hard on yourself. You could say R like English R. Okay, so the way to write it is very simple. Just like half a circle kind of thing. R. Reish. The next letter that we are going into, if I can separate these papers, who does it like doesn't want to separate? Here we go. Okay, is Shin. Shin also has two forms. So, but note that over here the dots are not inside. Over here the dots are one on the side and one on this side, one on the left, one on the right. So this on the right dot is Shin, like shoes. This one is like Sin, is like a S, like a sun. So again, this is like S and this is like CH. So this is Sha and this is Sa. Alright, so the way we write it, it's very close to an E in English, but just an E is going this way, Shin goes tilted. It's like more that way kind of thing. So Shin. Make a line and then a loop and then you stop. Make a line, a loop, and then you stop. Line, loop, stop. Shin. And last and not least is the letter Taf. Taf. This is the sound of T. By the way, also the letter Tet is T. Okay, so the way we write this is we make like half a circle. A lot of letters have this beginning. And then you make a line going down and then to the side. More quick. Oopsie, this is a mistake. Tough. This is a tough. Okay, so as we previously discussed, there are 5 letters that have a different ending form, the way they end. So it's called sofit. 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 Sorry, my handwriting is a bit shaken. Sofit. So we have kaf, and then kaf sofit. Mem, mem sofit. Nun, nun sofit. Pei, pei sofit. Sadiq, Sadiq Sofit. So you see where it's starred with a pink star? Those are the 5 words that we have to have a different ending. The way we write a word, if the word ends with that letter, we have to write it in a different form. So let me teach you how to write these 5 letters. So let's start with kaf. Okay, so the letter kaf, the way we write it when we end a word is very similar to the way we write it regularly, but then we add a line going down. So this line exceeds the line of the notebook. So if this is the line of the notebook, it goes like this. It goes under the line. Okay, next letter is mem. So mem, the way we write it when we end a word, not a letter, when we end a word, if it's at the end of the word, you make it like a circle and then a line going down. It's very similar to P. So either make a circle, end it and go down, or make the line and then make the circle, whatever is easier for you. Make sure it's not like this, I made it like a P. P, you see how it has 2 dots? It starts here, ends here. By mem sofit, it's more like a circle. You end the circle and then you go down. Like that. Not like this. So, circle and then go down. Circle and then go down. Circle and then go down. That's mem sofit. Next letter is nun. So nun sofit is just a line going all the way down. Very, very easy. So don't confuse it with the letter vav, which is half. So say this is a notebook line. This is a yud, this is a vav, and this is a nun sofit. The nun sofit goes beyond the line. Vav goes in the borders of the line. Yud is half. By the way, this makes a word in Hebrew, which is pretty cool. 3 lines of different length. This is the country Greece. That's the way we write it. Yud, Vav, Nun. You learned something. So again, just make a long line going down. That's it. Okay, next we have the pei. Pei and fei. So the way we make it, the ending is a bit fancy. It's like this. It's very close to lamed, similar to lamed. This is a lamed, but we continue going forward with it. So let's see how we write it. So like the music note that I told you before previously. So you make a small line, you go up, you make a loop, you come here, and then you bring it down. Again, small line, bring it up, make a loop, bring it down. Now in a more natural stroke, that's pei sofit. Next we have, and the last one, this is Sadiq. So look at that, it's so similar to pei, but the pei, it goes down, Sadiq, it goes up, the end of it. Okay, so let's see how we write it. So you make like a music note, you make a swerve over here. Now instead of bringing it down like the pei, we bring it up. Again, a line goes up, make a loop, and then bring it up. Now in a more like a one stroke, Sadiq Sofit. That's the end of all the last letters for the letters. Okay, so there's something I want to talk to you about, and those are the vowels. And those are the letter Aleph, Hey, vav, and yud. So as their own, like if you just put them as is, so Aleph makes like a is like an H or E. Vav, remember how I told you Vav is like a V? But when you put it next to letters, it becomes, with dots, I'll talk about the dots in a second, it could become either O or U. And then Yud, which I told you was a Y, could be either I or E. So what are the nekudot? Nikud means like when you put different symbols or dots under like letters, it gives the letter the sound. It gives it like a vowel. So let's take a letter B, for example, bit. So if you put by the X where the box is, that's where the letter goes. If you put a bet and you put this symbol under, this symbol is called patach, then it's going to be like a. So it's going to be ba. If you're going to put it under this box, which has kamatz under, kamatz is also a. So it's going to be ba. If you put a bet in this boxes where you have 3 dots under or 2 dots under, that makes the sound of be. The name of this nikud is segol and serei. Segol and serei, that's be. If you put the bet in this boxes, so 3 dots under the bet, that would be u. Or if you put a vav, like I told you here, with the dot next to it, it's going to be bu. Bu. So even though vav as a letter is like a V, if you put bet next before it and then a vav and a dot, it's going to be bu. Same thing with this. If you have a letter and you have a dot under, it's called chirik. Chirik makes the sound of E, B. So it's going to be B. And if you put a vav and a dot on top, like this, vav, it looks like an I in English, it's going to be like O. So it's going to, I got cut off. Again, if you put a bet in this box and a vav and a dot on top, it's going to be like O, like bo. So ba, be, bu, bi, bo. So it all depends on this little dot, which is called nikud or nekudot. So again, these are the vowels, but it makes a big difference the way you write, let's say the vav. It could be O, it could be U, it could be V. So it really, really depends on dot. Okay, so let's have a small exercise. Okay, let's try to read. I have 7 words here. Okay, let's start from the top. So, first letter is, if you guys remember, Aleph. Aleph makes the sound A. Next letter is Bet. Makes the sound Ba. Next letter is Aleph. A. So normally with Hebrew you read it from right to left, but in English it also came out the same because it's the same letters beginning and ending. Over here it's going to be different, but this spells Abba. Abba means dad in English, in Hebrew, sorry. Okay, next letter is P. Pei is P. Now you see the dot at the bottom. Okay, this dot at the bottom is a nikud. A dot in the bottom means E. So, P. Yud is like Y or like an I. Lamed is an L. So, Pil. Pil means elephant. Okay, next word. This is a kuf. Kuf makes the sound of K. K. Under that is a nikud, patach. Patach makes A. So we're gonna write Ka. Last letter is Reish. Reish makes an R. Kar. It's like in English you're going to say car. In Hebrew you're going to say kar. Kar means cold. Okay. This letter is Zain. Zain makes a Z. This letter is M. I told you it looks like a American N. M. And this last letter is an R, like kar. Okay, now let's look at the bottom. So we have Z, and then this nikud, which is patach, which is an A. Za. And then we have M. And then we have the bottom nikud, which is a line under, which is also A. And then we have R. Zamar. Zamar. That means a singer. Okay, number 5. This first letter is a bet, which is a B. And then we have a Yud, but the Yud is with a dot, so it's gonna. Okay, sorry, my camera was dying. Okay, so the next word is bite. So we have B, and then I, and then taf is T. So ba, this is a line at the bottom, which is a I, and then T. Ba eat. Okay, kuf is K, lamed is L, and then we have a patach, which is kal. Kal means easy. Okay, last letter, word. This is a Gimel, G, M, Mem, Lamed, El. Ga, we have this at the bottom, which is an A. Ga, we have M, this line at the bottom, which is an A, and then L. Gamal. Gamal means a camel. I hope you all did well. It would be good for the exercise to stop and rehearse and then test yourself and see if you could do it on your own. I wish you a lot of luck.